We spent the last module talking about massive data ecosystems, AI predictive modeling, and SQL databases. But let's look at the reality of daily business operations. You usually don't need a multi-million-dollar AI setup to simply figure out if your marketing department is going over its monthly budget. Surveys show that nearly 98% of executives aspire to build a data-driven culture. Yet, on a day-to-day basis, actual data-driven decision-making happens inside standard software like Microsoft Excel, Google Sheets, or Apple Numbers. At its core, a spreadsheet is simply a computer program that allows users to easily arrange, calculate, and present numerical data. Today, we are going to look at the anatomy of a spreadsheet. We won't approach this as IT specialists, but as business strategists, identifying the specific features required to navigate a modern office environment. Let's start with a common scenario, tracking the monthly marketing budget for a small startup company. When you open a blank file, you'll see a basic grid architecture. This grid is composed of horizontal rows, which are identified by numbers, and vertical columns, which are identified by letters. The intersection of a row and a column forms a cell, like A3 right here. This is the basic unit where data is placed, and when you select it, the heavy border identifies it as the active cell. You can type a standard text label into any cell to organize your sheet, but the program behaves differently when you type an equal sign. The equal sign signals the software that you want to perform a calculation on a specific value. Understanding this grid coordinate system and the equal sign is what turns a static page of text into a dynamic calculator capable of tracking strategic spend. Let's scale up the complexity. Imagine your company needs to buy a fleet of delivery vans, and simultaneously you need to determine which employees earn a sales bonus this quarter. To figure out the monthly financial impact of the delivery van loan, you can use the PMT, or payment function. This diagram shows the mechanics of the PMT function. It requires 3 specific inputs: the interest rate divided by 12, the total number of monthly payments, and the total loan amount. From those inputs, it calculates your exact monthly cost. Now let's shift to evaluating the sales team. We can automate the bonus structure using a different tool called the if function. The if logic test establishes a strict rule. You tell the program that if an employee's sales are greater than $10,000, the cell outputs bonus. If that statement is false, it outputs no bonus. By mastering built-in formulas like these, business managers can automate complex financial forecasting and operational logic, ensuring the math remains consistent across thousands of records. Next scenario, a vendor sends a massive list of 10,000 prepaid corporate cookie orders. Right now, a furious client is on the phone demanding to know their payment status. That massive list of raw data arrives as a CSV file, which stands for comma-separated values. A CSV file is highly useful because it strips away all styling and formulas. This creates a universal format that allows you to easily share data between completely different software systems. To search this massive dataset without manual scrolling, you use a tool called VLOOKUP. It takes a unique identifier, like the client's name, searches vertically down the column, and retrieves their exact payment status from the adjacent row. Tools like VLOOKUP allow a single human operator to search through an overwhelming amount of data and pull a precise answer for client management. For our final scenario, the CEO urgently needs to know which neighborhood bought the most cookies from that list of 10,000 orders. You can organize, group, and summarize thousands of individual sales rows by neighborhood using a pivot table. Look at this chart showing the transformation. To make the summarized data easy to read for the CEO, the pivot table is converted into a visual chart, like a bar or pie chart. We can apply basic color theory to make the results even clearer. By using warm colors to bring data forward and cool colors to make data recede, the viewer's eye is naturally drawn to the winning neighborhood. Summarization and visual interpretation take a spreadsheet full of raw figures and turn them into a clear answer for a decision maker. At the start, we recalled the grand concepts of data analytics, massive ecosystems, and predictive modeling. But whether you are utilizing a PMT formula to calculate a loan, organizing a pivot table, or searching with VLOOKUP, you are actively participating in data-driven decision-making. A spreadsheet is a canvas for logic. It allows professionals to build a structure that reveals the specific relationships between different business variables. Think about a local business you visit often, a coffee shop, a boutique, or a mechanic. How do you think they could use a pivot table or VLOOKUP right now to improve their daily operations? Let us know in the comments.